Okay guys, we're in the Midlands. We're at Kingswinford Snooker Centre with the 12 times world champion, Reanne Evans. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
This is a lovely room.
Yeah, I landed on my feet here. Perfect, lovely table. No one's allowed on it, so happy days.
That's perfect, isn't it? Because my table where I play, I mean, if I'm not there for a month, I come back and it's like you could plant potatoes under the cushions, the cloth, it's a nightmare. So, but this is absolutely pristine, isn't it?
Yeah, so no excuses, is there?
No excuses. have you got over last week yet? We both lost in the first round, World Championship qualifying.
Do you have to bring that up?
Well, how many frames did you get? You got 5, I got 4.
Yeah, I beat you to it, No, it wasn't the best, was it? But
no, it was. I mean, you were 4-0 down to Ken, and you got it back to 5. Was it
5-3? I think.
5-3.
Yeah.
And you got pulled off, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's Ken, you see.
That's crafty Ken, isn't it?
Crafty Ken drags you into these tactical battles that take forever. Oh, let me in. So how much practice were you doing for the World Championship?
It's been a bit difficult because I've got a tremor, and it started about 8 months ago, and it was really bad.
So where does that affect you?
Everywhere. My whole body shakes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I think obviously under pressure it's going to be more as well.
Right.
But it's like a shot I can be okay, and then next shot I can't, no feeling, and
wow.
So I've sort of tried to persist with it, tried to practice. I mean, it's a little bit easier on your own because you're playing on your own. Yeah. You get used to it and you warm up a little bit. But when you're playing someone, it's like in and out.
Is it just shaking or?
I'm just constantly shaking.
Right.
It's like, so sometimes I've got a bit of feeling, sometimes I haven't. Sometimes I'm short, sometimes I'm long. I've tried everything, but it's just.
For a snooker player, that's
it's like the worst
debilitating,
feeling,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's confidence as well. Snooker's all about confidence, isn't it? So it's not being the best, but. When you get opportunities to play on the tour, you want to make the most of it and not give it up. But just bad timing. Hopefully, I can win it back and get used to it a little bit. So
you were 5-3 down. So the night session, who won the first? Because obviously I was on the other table.
Yeah,
I was sitting down on the other table.
Apart from the first frame, I was like, "What's going on here?"
Right.
First poke century, was it? But no, he won the first frame coming back, and I think that was a big frame.
Right.
Sort of settle you down, because I was coming back at him. I wish I'd have stayed out there for that extra frame. And then you never know. So, yeah. I mean, we both was quite poor, to be fair, but sometimes you've got to scrap it out, haven't you?
So it must be hard to enjoy it then as much if you've got this condition.
Yeah. Sometimes you can accept not playing well, and you can go out there and try and still enjoy it. But because I'm really conscious of it.
So have you got down shot? Do you know when it's going to happen, or
no?
I mean, that's just the worst thing ever, isn't it?
It's like I feel okay now. I mean, when I first had it, I could literally lean forward and my whole body would be everywhere. I got my cue out at the qualifiers for a practice and I couldn't get down properly. I was like, oh no. But as you say, if you're playing on your own a little bit, it sort of eases. Yeah. Or you get used to it maybe a little bit. Right. But it's just...
I was a bit lucky, wasn't it?
I'm used to it, don't worry. No, it's just hard just to focus. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So how long have you been in this club?
I think around 7 years. I used to have the table at home. Right. But it was a beautiful room. My dad went too big on it, everything was perfect. I had a bathroom, a seating area, everything. Right. But table was lovely. But it was just one of those things, take Lauren to school and I'll have a cup of tea, go meet my friend for an hour and I'll come back. Wow, but it never happens.
10 minutes becomes half an hour becomes an hour. I would say that in the last couple of years of my career, the club closed and I had to put a table at home. Yeah. And it's not like going to work, is it, anymore? It's like, it's sort of a hobby that you sort of dip in and out of, where if you go to a club, so you physically got to come here and you physically, I've got to practice, isn't
it? Yeah, 100%. And there's a bit of atmosphere as well, so it makes you want to come down, can have a chat and a coffee in between practice routines and things like that. So it just breaks the day up a little bit as well. I love it here. I mean, the only thing there's no decent players here.
Right, okay.
Whereas years ago, when Martin Clark, John Reed and my brother and that used to be playing for me, you could name 40 players just in there.
It was a real hotbed, wasn't it, in the Midlands for snooker? Because I remember, obviously, I grew up with Martin Clark. He was, I think I beat him in a semi-final of the British under-16s, I want to say. I might be wrong. But yeah, he was the same age group. We grew up in John Reid, all these, I remember all these names. It was, I mean, there used to be so many tournaments in the Midlands. And so your brother played as well? Yeah,
it's the reason why I started playing, really. To be fair, my whole family played. My mum, my dad, my two brothers and me.
Look at this. I'll settle for that. Didn't play that kind. And how good was your brother? Did I play him as well? Was he?
No, he was around with like Paul Hunter, Matthew Stevens, Ronnie at Pontins in the junior days.
Okay.
But he was a very good player and he was competitive. He broke his hand 3 times punching the table. So.
Oh, so you're a bit of a temperament problem then. You don't have that, do you? I've not seen. We played in exhibitions. I've never seen you have any.
I've been tempted in one or two times, well, so I've held it back a little bit. But no, it's a tough sport, isn't it? So if you can control your emotions, I think you're better off. But
so what age did you
plays
start then?
There, doesn't he?
Well, Maguire, yeah, he loves a knuckle rap. What age did you start playing? I know I've changed. I've changed. I thought I was going to, you know.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I've gone to the dark side of my snooker career, playing safety shots.
You even put me where the lighting is as well. Look. You have a missus or not?
Is your tip loose?
No, it's hard.
Oh right. Because it's a funny sound, isn't it?
Yeah. It just plays really nice, so I've had to like get over the sound of it.
So it's like the Mark Williams.
It's not quite as hard as that.
Because his sounds horrendous, but I have had a shot of it, and it's actually nice. Not as bad as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
But it's the sound. Well, this could go anywhere.
Aye.
Did you get that one? That's very good. So what age did you start playing?
Is there a replay? When I was about 14, I used to follow my brother. I was obsessed with my brother. I used to follow him around and just watch him play. Picked up a cue, made 20 or 30 first frame.
You went straight to the full-size table then?
Yeah, I played.
That's unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, I played pool a little bit with my friends because we used to have a club with 3 snooker tables and a pool table, and they used to come around after school and play pool, but they used to make me play left-handed.
Right.
So I think that's maybe why I play a little bit left-handed as well.
Right, okay. That's one thing I cannot do. I'm so jealous of people that play left-handed.
Oh, he's going for the flukes.
Aye.
I'm not even re-spotting that.
This didn't happen that last week. So you're straight away when you started playing amateurs, would you play in men's leagues or?
Yeah, I grew up with like my brother and the guys from the snooker club, so I was born in this environment, which is lucky because not many women get that chance today, and it can be intimidating, but obviously the banter between like the guys and that you get involved, so sort of settles you down a bit. And I went straight into playing like league competitions and
at the age of 14.
Yeah,
15,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What age did you make your first century?
I think I was 17.
Right. Okay.
And my brother had a new cue made.
Right.
And he didn't like the new shaft, so he had swapped like new and old, and I was playing with the opposite one, and he was like, "You can keep it when you make your first century." I was like, "Okay," and I was actually playing him down our local at the time, and he's gone, "Right, come on, let's have a game," and I've had a century against him. He's like fuming. But I loved it. So yeah, that's how I started with my first main cue, really. Plants, flukes, doubles in your centuries. What's going on?
I had 2 doubles in that century. It was unbelievable.
I had to watch that century to believe that. So
and I had a double later on in the match as well. I mean, it's about the only thing I did in the match is make 3 doubles that's memorable. But
it's all about taking the positive, Stephen.
Yeah. So, are you playing in the tour? Are you plans to play in the tour next year? Have you still got your card or?
I've finished my 2 years now, but
I think I'm in the middle of 2, but there's debatable.
Oh,
Some people, when I lost my match at Sheffield, I sort of intimated in my press conference I'd love to play again, but they said I'm in the middle, so I don't know. But your 2 years is done, is it?
Yeah, my 2 years are done. So they've now added another ladies' event on in May.
Right.
Which is actually not too far from here, Cannock way. So, but I think it's between me and Onyee. I think it's whoever gets the furthest will get the tour card.
Right.
I think that's the... I try not to think about things
So why
too
not
much,
just given... You bought because Onyi's obviously on the tour as well.
Yeah, well, she's come to her 2 years as well, because me and Onyi was the first two to qualify for the women's as a professional. And then obviously you got Mink and Bex on their second year, starting next season. And obviously Bipat being world champion, she's taken the first card for 2003.
So it seems quite savage, really, to take. Not that you both have it again. I don't know, but we don't get into the politics of the game.
If you think too much, it gets harder, doesn't it? So
there's a massive incentive then.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What sort of many tournaments is there in a season for women alone to play in?
It varies. I mean, this year they've been all over the world. We've had 2 in Australia, 1 in America.
Wow. So I mean, that's more than the men's game, more worldwide than the men's game.
Yeah, but the trouble is, the money doesn't warrant you going.
Right.
I mean, if you win it, it doesn't even cover your costs. You know what I mean? So I didn't go to them. Obviously, jet lag and things like that, playing the main tour as well.
Yeah.
Prioritise that, but yeah, it's great that it's out there. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but obviously we need more backing, more support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but hopefully in the years to come we have our own tour, professional tour. Do you know what I mean?
Have you never been tempted to go down the pool route?
Never.
Alison Fisher never went down. No.
Never. I mean, when I first come on board, obviously I had Lauren quite early.
Right.
So obviously travelling and leaving Lauren was just a no for me.
Right. Okay. But did you play Alison at snooker?
No.
You sort of crossed over. You didn't cross over careers then.
I think she sort of left as I sort of came on. I played Kelly my first year at the Crucible.
Right.
My first ever tournament was the World Championship.
Yeah.
So I was 16. Obviously couldn't play till I was 16 because of embassy.
Okay.
And then got qualified, beat Lynette 4-3 on the black to qualify to play at the Crucible. And then drew Kelly, and obviously she was a machine then, wasn't she? So definitely knew who the number 1 was at the time then. But no, it was a fantastic experience playing at the Crucible.
Yeah. That's your favourite venue you've ever played at then? You played a lot of big exhibitions with Ronnie, haven't you? In big venues, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Like Goffs, that was amazing. That was absolutely jam-packed. Yeah. The atmosphere was incredible.
It is a great venue.
I don't know whether they haven't got tournaments back there.
I know. I think that's probably after the Crucible, probably my second favourite venue.
Really?
I think Goffs. It's something else when it's full.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic venue. Oh, he's happy to put that there, look.
Does it go?
Yeah.
Oh. What age were you when you won your first world title?
Well, 18, I think.
18?
Yeah. So my first tournament was the World Championships, and we had 1 year where Embassy sponsored it year to year, and I made the Crucible again.
Right.
The following year, drew Kelly again, so I was fuming. But no, and then it stopped for a year because of the sponsorship.
Okay.
And then Mandy obviously thought, right, I'll do it off my own back, and got everyone going. And then.
How much was to winner then when Embassy sponsored it?
I think it was about 5,000-6,000.
Right.
Because I remember feeling like I'd won the lottery my first year. I won like 4,000 or 5,000. It brought me my first car.
Right.
I was like, I like this. but it's weird because I never wanted to play snooker.
Right.
It was just people's like, you should enter.
Right.
And then got to play at the Crucible in my first ever tournament. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll carry on.
Yeah, you got the buzz.
Yeah.
And how many did you win in a row?
Only 10.
Only 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. So I'm going to ask you because I won 5 in a row, and it's not. I will say never gets boring winning, but was it the fact that you just took it for granted and it became easy and you didn't feel it was really testing your game kind of thing? Was the opposition in those days not great, or? I mean, I'm not taking away anything from you, by the way. But
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I used to go down and almost take for granted winning.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. You just get used to winning, it comes natural, you don't have to think about it, you just get down, hit the ball, it goes in, you make regular breaks, it becomes a lot easier when you're winning, doesn't it? But
I touched the white. You've seen it. Oh, you can use your left hand, can't you? So
but it's, I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And then it's like a kick up the bottom when something like that happens. Like, right, realistic.
Yeah.
It's like you do have to.
Was it 10 in a row from your first?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and then if I get past the semi-finals, I've never lost in the final.
Right.
but it's one of those. Yeah. It's.
But I mean, people must have been just shitting themselves against you. They must have been beat before they even got to the table. It was like, oh my God, got Reanne now.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feeling, though, isn't it? You walk in like
exactly.
This,
yeah, I mean, I
like,
had it. Yeah, it's the intimidation.
Yeah, exactly. You need that though. I think if you haven't got that aura about you, I think you still have that now. As you walk in a room, people think, oh, it's Stephen.
Remember who he used to be. What a great commentator. now all the players say, oh no, he's going to ask me to be on his YouTube channel. I'm like, I'll become a pest.
It's called expanding. That's what it's.
So do you think in a way, even though you're not having success on the main tour now, do you think in a way you're becoming a better player now than you were even when you were winning world titles?
I can't think about it the last 2 years because of what's gone on.
Of course, yeah.
But I was given a wild card in 2010.
Right.
And I didn't win matches, but Robertson beat me 4-3. I was playing the likes of Alfie, Gudong, I beat Tepchow in Wuxi Classic. It was like, I felt like I was going to the women's and couldn't lose, couldn't miss. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, and I was a lot younger then as well, so I was like loving it. Yeah. But the whole experience was fantastic. Yeah. But this time round it's been a little bit different. Things haven't quite gone my way.
Right. Okay.
But as I say, opportunities, you have to take them. Yeah. When they arrive, don't they?
Because I mean, people ask me obviously because I've got a wild card and I'm not. It's not a wild to come back and play 5 hours a day and be who I used to be. But it's a catch-22 in it because I'm match rusty. Yeah. You need to play matches, but if you keep getting beaten in the first round, you're not getting the match fitness, are you?
Yeah, exactly. And the trouble is now the players are so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't compare because obviously I wasn't around back then, but I just think the standard is so good. Yeah. Even players that people don't, like locals in the club, they go, how did you lose to him? I've never heard of him. And I was like, yeah, but he's like amazing.
What I've found is I think like break building is so much better than it was in the sort of 90s. I think safety play has just improved so much. Yeah. I mean, I get found out straight away in matches with my safety play because my safety play was, I mean, I thought, you don't get a point for a safety shot. So it was just, it got in the way, safety play. So I was just like, anywhere past the baulk line, I was quite happy.
Anywhere up this end,
but now they're like really putting you in really tricky situations.
But you say the lung potting today, I just think, I mean, there's a 19-year-old from China called Bai Yulu. Right. And she beat me in the Worlds this year. Right. But a lung potting. Right. It's like, I was scared just for leaving one. I'd rather leave her in the balls hoping she miss and then you're in the balls, do you know what I mean? But lung potting was crazy good. It was really good.
So so it's the Ladies World Championship now, how many people can win it then? Because obviously when you were in 10 in a row, it was just you. Yeah. No one else. How many are capable of winning it now, do you reckon?
I'd say if all the good players played in the same event, I'd say 6, 7, really? Maybe. Yeah. So it's tough. It's competitive. Yeah. I mean, Baipat, who won recently. I mean, great player, but it's probably a name you wouldn't think. Yeah. At the start of the event, I mean, she can make centuries. She's a very good player, but just think with experience and being in that situation. But that Bai Yulu will definitely be world champion. Right. Okay. Yeah. Very impressed for being so young as well.
But what I see when I watched, like when we had the mixed doubles in the summer, and I watched you. Obviously, you played with Ronnie, and when I watched you play, I still think you hit the ball so much better. Yeah. Than a lot of the lady players to me look very technical. Yeah. Very coached. Whereas I don't know, were you ever coached or you?
I've never.
You've got a very natural style.
Never had coaching for many years, and then had a little stint with Stephen Feeney. But that was the first time it didn't suit me. But that was the first time I've ever had coaching, the first time I've ever had to think about what I'm doing. Right. And it totally got me. Yeah. Normally I just get down and hit it and that was it. And then, but thinking about what you've got to do, I've never had to do that before. So it totally threw me off. Yeah. I mean, did you have coach from day one?
I didn't have coaching right at the beginning. The first coach I had was Frank Callan when I was about... I'd won my first ranking event. Yeah. So it was about 18, 19, but I thought my long game I wasn't I mean, I could pot long balls, but I wasn't potting them consistently enough.
Yeah.
So I went with Frank, and then obviously I developed a pause in my cue action, pause at the back. And my game did improve, my long potting did improve, but towards the end of your career, I was with Terry, Chris Hendry, and now I'm working with Stephen Feeney, which is, for me, it's I needed a kind of incentive to practice.
A new approach, maybe.
To practice.
Yeah.
Because if I was just going to come back and play some tournament and just go on my own and play, I probably would just go through the motions.
Yeah.
But I find if I'm with Steve and I'm working on something, it kind of just makes me want to practice.
Focus that little bit more about doing something new.
I do sometimes think I never met a coach. Because
that's what I was just going to ask you. Would you be interested in like coaching or mentoring?
Well, I wouldn't. To be honest, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have the first clue. If someone came to me and say something again, you couldn't put 2 balls in a row, I wouldn't know how to start. I wouldn't know how to coach someone. I think what I could possibly give someone is sort of knowledge.
Yeah.
In like pressure situations or in a match or
like
in terms of winning tournaments and stuff. But in
like
terms of technical, and I don't know if people are it's terrible.
It's hard if you've never had to think about it though, because I'm like that. Because like a couple of family friends and their children have asked me to like, will you help them out at the start and stuff?
Yeah.
And they was like, well, how did you play that shot? And I was like, I'm not sure. I have to play it again to tell you. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, you can't explain it.
No.
But even now when I play, I don't know whether some matches I'll play and I've got a longer pause. Sometimes I'll try and get rid of it. So, the last sort of 10 years of my career, probably had about 20 different cue actions. Oh, see.
It's a nice frame, though.
Well, hopefully people are going to watch this for the conversation and not for the snooker. I'm going to put the black in the spot.
Oh, now I've potted the red.
Now you potted the red, yeah.
And I say now, I'm like last year or so, I've been working with Chris. More because he hasn't done much technically. It's more about being positive and thinking the right ways and things like that.
He's nothing if not positive.
Exactly, yeah. He's totally opposite to me.
I remember when I was with Chris and I was back playing the World Championship, and he obviously used to work a lot with Peter Ebdon.
Yeah.
And I had a morning match, so I was in the practice. I started at 10, so I was there about 9ish, something like that, to go. And I'm not a morning person, so I got a coffee and I'm playing. Chris and Peter, they're bounding around the practice room like, I'm saying, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone in my miserableness until I'm ready.
Please let me finish my coffee first.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
Look at this.
Too hard. So you're doing quite a bit of punditry as well. Do you like that? Yeah,
obviously when I first started I was a bit like, oh, what's going on here live on TV, but and obviously with my accent it's not the best, but
well, listen to them, Scottish.
But it's
I got away with it again. Shot to nothing.
So lucky. But yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's something I never thought I would actually do.
Right.
I'm quite shy and don't like to be there. And it's like, I'll go and play a game bingo and I won't show it house. And I'm like, but you'll speak live on TV. It's like, it's strange. But I do really enjoy it, and hopefully I'll get to do a few more bits and pieces over the years. But yeah, and you actually think about it, you watch them play.
Oh, so unlucky.
Ever not potted that.
So unlucky.
He even goes
and the red
as well.
goes as well. And the red goes as well. Have you got many exhibitions lined up?
Not at the moment, no. Just because
you
need Jason to pull his finger out and get.
But you've done a lot with Ronnie, haven't you?
Yeah.
Getting well with Ronnie, yeah.
Yeah, I think one of my first ones was in Reading, the Legends, and I remember I was playing really well.
Right.
And you was playing rubbish. It was like.
Oh, it was
England
thing.
Against the team, and then I've drew you, and you've gone, well, I'm definitely not losing. And you've had like 70 or 80. I was like, oh, fuming. I thought this is my chance.
Was it fun playing in the mixed doubles with Ronnie?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you guys were strong favourites.
on paper it was probably like the perfect partnership, but it's just hard when you play doubles. It's a different mentality. You think more about your partner than you do you. And I didn't think Ronnie would be into it, but he rang me the night before going, what do you think, how we should play and who should follow who? And I was like, what? What's going on? And when we were talking at the side of the table, he was chatty and he was like, oh, you're doing all right, just pat him like it was like that. But
because you look like in between frames, you look because we were obviously filming it for ITV. And you look like you were having fun.
Yeah, we got on really well. I mean, probably helps that I knew him beforehand and things like that. But yeah, he was proper into it, and I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? And I think he was trying too hard. In the end, he was like, and I could tell he was like, shall I follow Anya for example, or shall I follow Trump? I don't know what's going on. And he went, I need to play before Judd, so I know I'm leaving him.
Right.
That's what he said in the end. It's like, he just plays tricks with you, doesn't it? It's like, it's unusual because it doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, I think they're having it again. I think.
Oh, are they?
I'm sure they are.
I need to get back on tour then.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll be the first name on the sheet. This is.
No, but I think he went down really well, and I think everyone who played in it.
The balls I'm getting is unbelievable.
When it matters, you don't get it though, do you?
I know. Get away with everything.
But I think he went down really well.
Yeah.
The players seem to enjoy it as well.
I think from watching, I think a lot of the women players were under a lot of pressure because obviously it was a huge prize money, wasn't it?
Well, this is the thing. It's like we've never played for that money.
I remember she refused a black off a spot. I'm like, what is going on here?
I think she had a brown as well. She was like perfect to go down for the reds, and she's like. But again, I just think she just thought money.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? And Selby was playing really well as well. He was like, just let him do all the scoring. But yeah, it's, as I say, it's different mentalities. Like in the women's, she's like too aggressive. She goes for a lot.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a strange one. It just shows different mentalities.
What was the prize money?
I think you was guaranteed 10,000.
Yeah.
And the winners got 30.
Right.
Or 40
and so what's the winner of the Ladies World Championship?
Was it 6,000 or 8,000?
6. So it's so you can totally understand not wanting to make any mistakes whatsoever.
Plus, we're not used to that environment either. Yeah. I mean, me and Anya at the time maybe a little bit more, but because you don't play any day in, day out. Yeah.
Because in one way, it's a great chance to showcase your skill, but in another way, you've got such a big pride.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
I hope it's a regular thing because, as I say, the only way is catch-22. The only way you can get better is by being in that situation, isn't it? Yeah,
exactly. And that's what I mean. Hopefully, they support the women's tour more. Yeah. We've showed that we can play, and there are women out there who want to play. And we was in Thailand, and there was like 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old girls making 50s, 60s.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just love it out there. It's fantastic to see, and not for me as I'm getting older and seeing all these young ones come through, but no, it's brilliant. So hopefully we get a decent tour going.
How many entrants do you get for the World Championship?
I think we got around 50, 60.
Right, okay. And is that much more than there has?
I think a couple of times there's been around that amount. And that's not with everyone who you know would enter as well. Right. So there would be a lot more, and obviously the more incentive they've got to play with more money, etc., and better conditions in better environments, and it's just going to sell it more to them. So
it's not got the angle. Oh, it's got the angle. Oh, that's so what when I play left-handed. It's so annoying.
Yeah, but I can't use the rest. Too heavy, look.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I just played the straight double kiss shot.
I love playing that shot, but if you get it wrong, it looks terrible, doesn't it?
You look like an idiot.
Or you get the snooker behind the blue now.
Right, I've tested Q power. What is green and screw back for the brown?
I'm dropping it in.
Had it pretty well.
Not bad. I'll settle for that.
You settle for that?
Yeah.
Chicken, you couldn't think I can.
I was on about the cue ball, not the.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that's no respect, eh? You might be proved right. Yep.
Talk straight to that one, you know. Safety's improving though over these years.
Oh my God, look at that. So bad.
I'd like to have your advice on it or view of having a separate women's professional tour.
I think there has to be one, at least a world championship.
Yeah.
Because I think if there wasn't, if the only tour that women could play on was the main tour, and obviously they're coming behind, and if they're losing more, then does that really deflating?
That's what
you don't want to play. I think you've got to. I think there has to be a women's tour to play against her to get that.
Yeah.
That even just for the sensation of winning matches.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to. You got to get that enjoyment as well, not just from playing, but the sensation of winning. I think. But I think definitely there should be more women on the main tour.
You think there should be more on the main tour as well?
Yeah, absolutely. What possible reason could you have against it? I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and the same way that the people moan about giving, Jimmy and me and Ken wild cards, but I don't see what harm that's doing.
You're in a good place here, aren't you?
That's an interesting technique.
But it's hard because there's a lot of pressure on the women because they're put on there, as you say, to try and showcase women. But it's pressure we're not used to.
Yeah.
So if you show in women playing women, they'd be more comfortable.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and obviously it's going to attract more girls, women who want to play as well. Whereas actually my best matches this year were against top players.
Right.
So if I'd have played like that against some of my other opponents, maybe I would have won a few more matches.
Right.
But it just shows I've played really well. I mean, I've had like 90 plus pot success and lost.
Right, really.
Do you know what I mean? It's like one of those. Whereas I think it's more attractive for viewers for watching women against women in promotional wise and getting the best out of the players.
Right.
But obviously.
But I mean, it's obviously it's the financial side of it.
Yeah.
It's just that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fine something being a hobby, but at the end of the day, it's still top sport. You want to be rewarded.
Exactly.
For winning it, so.
Exactly. Yeah. And as you say, if you're winning matches, you're more confident. So you're going to want to enjoy it, and you probably make more breaks and win more matches then.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one, but hopefully. I mean, I'm getting on now. I'm coming to like the sort of end of my career.
Yeah.
But obviously I want to
How old are
see
you
the
now?
future.
Shouldn't ask that. That's a terrible question, but.
I'm 37.
37.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still, I'm 54.
How old?
54. Well, it wasn't a scintillating famous snooker, but it was great fun. Well played.
Cheers.
Well played. Thank you.